filmed from the center of America in New York City, is totally unhinged. Now, your host, James Blinken.
Thank you, Jeremy, and hello, everybody. It's March 15th, 2026, and this is Totally Unhinged. And we're going to get right into it, talking about Timothée Chalamet's story. Yes, I made his last name sound like a horse, but even before I say what he did, the man, if you want to call him a man, like, I'm not one to talk, but when I think of man, I think of like a man, like Arnold, or like Cillian Murphy. There is an in-between. But this is a man who is dating a Kardashian, so we should not be taking anything he says more seriously than a blonde Fox News reporter. Enough hitting around the bush. Timmy C said opera and ballet are a dying art form. Now that's fucked, and just dumb to say, and apparently not the first time he said it. Not to mention that opera is very similar to musicals, and you started a musical a few years ago. And that was a musical based off an amazing classic with film legend Gene Wilder. And you know what is a dying art form? The class from actors, because Timmy, not only do you not have class, but you just don't know. And you made a movie about ping pong, and somehow you got people to watch it when we all know people moved on to pickleball a long time ago. Okay, that's all I have to say about Timmy. On that note, I ran, you ran, she ran. It's time to talk about the war that Trump won't call a war. America invading the Middle East for little or no reason given to the American people? Other than the same thing we've been told for years, Iran is a week away from nuclear weapons. This is, of course, not a new thing for the US, but I am not an expert on covering Middle Eastern wars. I mean, first off, it hurts to think about all the moving pieces involved, and second, there's so many fucking Middle Eastern wars, one literally for each day of the calendar year. I don't think I'm exaggerating. So the US and Israel launched attacks that killed the supreme leader, all the people below the supreme leader, and thousands of civilians and school children. It's really awful. I never covered war on this show before, and it's not something I like doing. But I have to mention that Trump went into this war without a way to end it, and he may even break his campaign promise of no boots on the ground and no more fighting in wars. But like all other promises he made are lies. He's an opportunist and nothing more. He said Obama would start World War III with Iran because he has no negotiation skills. Well, Trump, what do you have to say now? U.S. servicemen and women already died in war. So, I think you see why I started with the Timmy C segment now. Trump lied. He is a liar. Will his supporters stop supporting him? Nah, because Trump keeps lying to their face, and his supporters believe his old man enthusiasm. I don't get it. This war is on Trump, and it's a long, ancient story about Iran is going to have a nuclear weapon made in the next week. So many fucking U.S. administrations, officials, presidents said it. So the war started this time because of the same damn reason being told us for like the past 20 years. Hopefully this ends sooner or later, but as we know, anything Trump does is just a distraction from the Epstein files. Now he's even sending a warship to the Strait of Hormuz, a key Iranian hub, so that's swell. Trump will literally do anything to keep the news off him and the files, even if that means blowing up the world. Moving on. It's no secret, but I'm a fan of Nintendo and grew up loving their games. And recently, Nintendo sued the Trump administration over losses concerning tariffs during the Switch 2 launch. So some backstory, Nintendo lawyers go after Nintendo fans a lot because Nintendo does not make it easy to play their old games, so fans turn to emulation, and that is illegal, and Nintendo does not like that. The point is, Nintendo is very particular, and they'll send lawyers after you like hawks for little reason. So Nintendo games have been used in the past week or two by the US government to advertise the war in Iran and general MAGA BS, from the new Pokepedia game to Wii Sports. That's just fucked. And yes, I'm pretty sure Nintendo cannot do more than saying they don't condone what the government is doing with their products and their image. But here's the thing. The Pokemon Company spoke up against the use of their IP's image being used by the US government, but not Nintendo yet. Remember, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they are two separate companies. I just want to know why. Is it because Nintendo has a lawsuit currently against the US government? Could what I be saying be outdated shortly? Yes, this is just an observation, but Nintendo called the Trump administration out for messing with your brands, like when your fans use emulators to play your older games and, I'm blocked by Nintendo lawyers now. I'm sorry, let me back. Okay, good. Let's move on. Finally, today, I want to talk about ice cream and its tastiness and you think we're actually talking about ice cream? Nope, we're talking about mergers again today. Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Discovery, including HBO Max, DC Studios, CNN, and many more companies. But don't you remember last year when Paramount and Skydance merged, making a new evil CEO, Trump's BFF, and Nepo baby who was not potty trained until 7 years old, David Ellison? But before we talk more about Ellison, both deals were bad. If you remember, Netflix was trying to buy Warner Bros., and I did a piece on that last season. That deal fell through. So both of these deals were bad, especially if you were a movie buff like me, because it's not good for theaters to have even less theatrical releases per year. I mean, just look at Paramount's theatrical releases from last year, 2025. But I can still see Paramount being the better option for people who like watching movies in theaters because Netflix is a streamer and they actually only own 2 theaters, I think, one being the Paris in New York City, and I don't think those 2 theaters are enough for theatrical releases. And I know that's not actually how theatrical releases work, but you get my point. Also, all these studios involved in the deals want to use AI to a varying degree, so that's not a good thing. But when it comes to free speech, Netflix was definitely the better option. Because if you remember last year, Paramount canceled Colbert because of financial reasons. And now, Paramount Skydance will own Bill Maher's show, John Oliver's show, The Daily Show, and I'm guessing those shows will get canceled because of cost-cutting reasons as well, in addition to massive layoffs that happened during a merger. Comedians are the ones always fucked from a fascist regime. This is bad. Lex Luthor should not be calling the shots. Actually, he's like a hand puppet, Lex Luthor, with Trump's hand in his ass. But for legal reasons, I did not actually say that. I do think the best case scenario is if this merger fails because they get a cash payout and a breakup fee, which is just a couple mere $1 billion. I wish breakup fees happened more in everyday life for like us regular people. Imagine breaking up with somebody and getting like 150K. Also, like, of course Trump lets monopolies happen because it's money and hurts every sense of the word creativity. And apparently from this, we are getting HBO Max and Paramount on the same streaming service. So great, another fucking name change. I'll conclude by saying 2 things. Support physical releases and theatrical releases because it is way better seeing a movie in a movie theater for the first time. And if you buy something physically, you get to keep it forever. And you don't have to deal with streaming BS. Oh, this movie is available for 30 days and it's leaving and going on another streaming service. And then you have to play hot potato to find the fucking movie you want to watch. It's so annoying. That's why physical media is forever. Fuck Paramount and fuck these mergers. Can someone just go back in time and bully David Ellison a little less in middle school? What am I saying? He was born evil and bullied everyone. He didn't get bullied. Fucking Nepo baby. Anyway, that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
This has been Totally Unhinged. I've been Jeremy Webb Jr. Have a great day, and even better tomorrow. Peace out.